What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy with Flues Brothers Chimney Service for Fireplace Fridays. Usually we do this about 10, but today's a special day. Let's take a look. This is what the weather looks like in Kansas City. So, it is a little crazy, a little snowy. Luckily, not icy. So, what is Jeremy doing today? I am out in Brandy's Flues Brothers Jeep. I've got the seat covered because I've been messing with some chimneys, helping the guys out. We try to work as a team, and when the days are nasty like this, we've had great days up until today, but today's kind of a nasty day. Luckily, like I said, no ice. It is a little bit blustery out, and there's some wind, so we just want to get everybody through the day today. I got something on me. Get everybody through the day today safe, and so they can go have a good weekend this weekend. I think the Chiefs play Sunday. Should be a nice weekend. I think it's supposed to warm up next week too, which is good. I'm just sitting here in a parking lot getting ready to head to the next job, make sure everybody's doing well, and then back to the office. Wanted to talk to everybody today. This also applies to chimney technicians, but also applies to customers as well, is communication, basic communication. Obviously, there's a reason why a customer calls a service business. I just had to have a plumber out to our house the other day, and the reason was very direct. We needed a drain cleaned, and then I wanted some more suggestions because we were doing a remodel on a bathroom on, hey, should we reroute this? Should we deal with this now? Should we do something different? Because obviously the walls are torn up anyways. So the big thing is that we need to make sure, I wanted to make sure I communicated that well. I couldn't be at the appointment, but Brandy, my wife, was there, and I made sure that I had prepped her, and then also when the tech got there and gave him time to look everything over, I had a chat with him real quick over the phone. We can also, we've also done FaceTime, Zoom, stuff like that, just to ask him a few questions, make sure my needs were met. Because I didn't want to waste his time, and I didn't want him wasting my time either, to make sure that my expectations were met. They're very clear, et cetera, et cetera. I live in my house. He doesn't, so he isn't going to be fluid with what's going on, what typically happens when we try to drain the tub, how fast it should drain, things like that. Same thing goes for chimneys. Communication is key. I know when you call in, you have a little discussion with the office gals are answering a lot of phone calls, and sometimes the phone calls overlap a little bit. So they do take notes. We do record phone messages or phone calls and everything, and they do really good in our office, at least, relaying that information. Not a lot of companies are good at that. I'm just speaking for ours. They do a very nice job. But with that being said, sometimes then once, obviously the office gal or the person taking the call is not the one coming out to the home. So it's up to the technician to preempt that conversation when they get to the home. Hey, how you doing? Hey, nice neighborhood, what have you? A little bit of small chat to build a little bit of customer rapport, which is good. Hey, I love the motorcycle out front. Hey, there's something good about everything, and it starts off the conversation really nice. It's kind of like if you're having a conversation with someone you just met. You're typically going to say hello, and you're typically going to, as you get into conversation, say something that relates. So that way you're making friends, and it's just a way humans communicate. As a technician, we need to be asking the customer, hey, we're here for an inspection today. Did you have any upfront concerns? Or are you having any problems or what have you? Because it's all the time where we go, okay, we're going over our morning meeting. Oh, looks like the customer didn't say there was anything wrong with the fireplace. The girls do ask that. So yeah, it should be pretty straightforward appointment. They want this, they want that. All right, cool. So then the technician gets out there, and surprise, the person that made the appointment is not the person there, and the person that is there has other concerns. Well, this thing smells. We get a lot of smell calls. This thing smells bad every time we use it or what have you. And we have to go over, okay, well, maybe the unit wasn't burned in properly. If it's a gas unit, maybe it's a vent-free unit. Well, you're smelling the fumes from not having a vent. So here's some things you can do. Here's some options, et cetera, et cetera. So we want to make sure all of those things are met. So as a technician, you want to make sure you're asking the right questions right off the bat. Is there any problems or any concerns? What do you want to do with the fireplace? Do you like the way the fireplace looks? Do you like the way it heats? Do you like... would you rather have something easier? Would you rather have, instead of trying to reach up there and open the damper, would you rather have a top damper? This time of year, obviously, we're looking at how crazy it is outside, how windy it is, and how cold and how snowy. So what happens when it gets this way? Well, you start getting a lot of cold air, feeling cold air in areas, and fireplace is one of them. So maybe they want an easier damper. Maybe they want a top damper that seals off at the top, so you don't get a bunch of cold air coming down. Maybe they want, maybe they'd like to have a gas log set. Maybe they want something that lights a little easier. Maybe they want a log lighter bar or something of that nature. So there's so many things that can't be covered over the phone, and you're right there. It's chimney day, as my friend Rob Lindeman says. And so you've got their attention. So as a customer, you want to make sure you're giving that attention. You're taking time. It's a very busy world right now, even though we're at home so much, even though the kids are doing them. All of those Zoom calls, all of that homeschool and everything, you made an appointment, just like if you go to the doctor. You go to the doctor, and you're sitting in the waiting room forever, and usually it's late. Usually the doctor's running late. And then you get that time with that doctor. You aren't going to waste that time with that doctor. At the end of the day, you might not see it right there and then, but you are paying for that time. That's how that doctor makes money. That's how that practice stays in business. It isn't the insurance. Even if you get some benefit from the insurance is not paying that doctor's salary and everything. That's just a supplemental thing. You are paying that person. So you want to use that time wisely. As the technician, they are paying us. We want to make sure that we're doing everything during that appointment time, and we're not wasting anybody's time or anything, and communicating very well. You don't want to just look and go, okay, well, this is why they called, and this is all the information, so I'm going to go out there. And I run into this a lot that we have to go over with our technicians, and I ask people daily, and they go, well, they had this or that. And I go, well, are they still having this or that? Like, we had one call today when we were going over the morning meeting, and fireplace smoked last time they tried to use it. Okay, their fireplace smoked. Okay, it could be a problem. Has it always smoked? Has it always done that? Did it just happen one time? Have you tried it again? Maybe it was just a freak deal. You know, hey, we're trying to get smoke to go up in cold weather. Maybe you didn't open the damper. Maybe you didn't prime the flue. Maybe you didn't crack a window, open a door to get the air going the right way. Any of that stuff could happen. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't have it checked out and make sure everything's fine, but, you know, we just need some information. We need as much honest information. I've had conversations with people, and they're having a problem, and my technician is out there, and when they called, they gave one story, and now it's a whole different story. So I've had to add to my deal, and I think it's because some people think that someone's there to take advantage of them, so they want to conserve some information just in case. I don't want to make sure this is going to be charged extra or whatever. We work off flat rate pricing. It's all flat rate. So I don't care if you live in a $4 million house or if you live in a $400 house or what have you. It's all the same price. It's all based on, you know, material, time, et cetera, et cetera. So brutal honesty is what we're always looking for to help answer and help figure out if you're having a problem or any problems. So always make sure. Now, if you can't be there, or if you're you know, if you've got a few days before your appointment or whatever, any of that time as a customer, you want to make sure you're writing all this information down so you don't miss anything. Because obviously, you're paying for that time slot. You're not paying for that time slot and then, oh, hey, I forgot something, or, oh, hey, something was missed, or, oh, hey, this or that. I didn't like something or whatever, and then I'm expecting this person to come back. Well, that isn't being a good customer. That isn't being a good, I don't know, consumer. Expecting someone that you had that appointment with, and you opted to not give that time and not be prepared for it, that they're just going to magically just come back after you've had time to rethink myself. Oh, well, there's a lot more going on, or it's going to be expensive to fix this or what have you, even though I've never had anything done on my fireplace, which most people haven't, and they always expect it to turn out really well. Well, things are deteriorating, and you think about how many times you've replaced the roof on your house, painted the house, replaced siding, had toilets fixed, everything else, and the chimney sits there alone 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years later. It's probably going to have some stuff going on. But that's where we come in, and that's where we are totally honest. We want to hear that honesty from you so we can help you get where you want to be. And then everything we do, let's say we're out for an inspection or a cleaning and inspection, everything is wide open. If you want to sit there and watch us do it, no problem. Just let the tech do the work after we go over that preempt, and that way he can keep on moving, then he can get everything, and then he can compile it all, and then he can have a logical conversation with what the condition is, and maybe if it's got some problems or whatever these problem areas lie, or if you're having a problem with maybe using it or something, here's the options, here's what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. This is what it should look like, this is what yours looks like, type thing. So you want to be prepared. You want to have all that stuff lined out. If there's anybody else in the household that has some questions about it or what have you, but can't be there, maybe a FaceTime call, maybe a Zoom call, something while the tech's there. As long as you're getting your needs filled, it's your house. That technician that's there for a few hours out of your life can't foresee everything that's going to happen. We've had people who say, I'm having this certain problem on certain days or what have you. We go out, we try to recreate the problem, and it isn't happening. So all we can do is give some diagnoses based on, okay, well, this is what we see. Let's say it's doing that during this. These are the deals you can go. I think okay, somebody's behind me. I'm in a parking lot, and I was like, what the heck was that? So anywho, the biggest thing is communication between both parties. Don't feel that everybody's trying to take advantage of you. You've done your research. You called us or that other company because you see that we've got good reviews. You've been referred, what have you. You got on Nextdoor, whatever. And you know that we're a good, honest company. And we're also charging when we come out, so we can be honest. We don't have to sell you something. We aren't there to, kind of like the storm chasers. Oh, well, it rained. I can get you a new roof, siding, whatever. Yeah, we're not those. And then they're quick in, quick out, crappy work. It starts to fail, and then you've been duped. It happens all the time. See it all over the news, etc. We aren't going anywhere. I think we're the only company in town that I've found that has a brick and mortar building. It's on a main road down off Southwest Boulevard. It's got signage, everything else all over it. We're not going anywhere. So, we aren't a random person that works out of a house or a rented office space that nobody's at or a post office box or anything like that. So feel free to ever come down. It's nice to make an appointment this time of year and let us know you're coming. But, any of that stuff. But the big key thing in this conversation is communication between both parties. If you're the tech, it's up to you to ask the questions. We had one where a technician I just saw on the group line was out, and they had an animal enter and said, hey, we had a squirrel get in and it made a nest here and made a nest there, what have you, in between the wall, up in the attic, etc., etc. And the technician was asking, hey, how should I word this? What if they're still nesting in there or whatever? Well, my question is, did you ask the customer? Did they get all the nesting out? Why put something random on there? Ask them, go ask them. Do you know if they got all the nesting out? Okay, well, you know, because here's what could happen if they didn't or whatever. Would you like us to cut open your chase and find out if that's the case? Because obviously wood on top of a prefabricated fireplace, metal firebox inside a wall where it's not supposed to have combustible things on it, like squirrel nests, insulation, things like that, can be a hazard. And we can't see through walls. We can't see through walls. Nobody can. So you'd have to make an access hole, you know, to get in there and take a look. Even though we have cameras and stuff, you know, you want to make sure all that stuff's clear. Now, if they go, no, heck, the guy I saw it myself. You know, they took off the whole piece of siding, got in there and got all the nesting off and put it back. Excellent. That's great. I've even had people show me, oh yeah, they did that here. Let me show you some pictures. Because, you know, it's real easy to take pictures anymore. So communicate. If you're a technician, if you're the homeowner, make sure you communicate too. I'm here to tell you, homeowners out there, many technicians are fantastic technicians, but they're not great communicators. They can get in, they can fix anything, they can make stuff stop leaking, they can make stuff work, they can make stuff draft, all of that stuff. They work hard workers. But they are not, you know, huge communicators. They get in, get stuff done. So we try to train it. We work with people. We ask them all the time, hey, you gotta converse, etc., etc. So it's also up to you to understand, hey, these people are the doers. You know, maybe they're not the greatest conversational piece in the world. I've had lots of technicians out to my own house, and hey, you know, how's it going? You know, and you get to talking to them. You know, what's your interest, etc. Typical, you know, getting to know people stuff, and they just kind of stand there. And I'm like, okay, how's this going? Well, let's see how he does. And he gets in there and he fixes the problem, and hey, here's the bill, you know, and doesn't say thanks or anything, but he fixed my problem, and he leaves. And he's a nice little genius that can really do the good work. But like I said, we try to communicate, we try to relate, we try to do this, etc., etc. Also, the right attitude. Obviously, you called that service business because you have a problem or whatever. Don't act like everybody's out to get you. Not everybody's out to get you. You know, do your homework. Don't just randomly call somebody or base everything just on the cheapest guy or the free guy or whatever. Because the cheapest guy and the free guy have to make that money up somewhere. And that's where the dishonesty comes in. And that's where you see all these people on the news and everything else. So you want to make sure you're getting someone that is obviously certified through national organizations, trains their people, experience, things of that nature. How do they do the process? How do they check quality? Because not everybody, I'm sorry to say, you don't have a great day every day. Some days you're off your game too, and some days technicians can be off their game.